It's time for us to make a menu, and there are a number of things that we have to do. First off, we are going to add a new plugin. So if you're in your dashboard, we are going to be going to plugins and add new plugin, and also remember that there's usually something up here you can click as well. And I teach my students to use Elementor as the design, and so I'm assuming that everyone already has Elementor installed, and if you do, what we need for the menu is Elementor Header and Footer Builder. So let's install and activate. Okay, so that's good. And so before we installed that, under Appearance, there was nowhere to find the Elementor Header and Footer menu, but now that we've installed it, let me go back to Appearance. We now have a new aspect here. But what we're going to do first, the very first thing I guess second thing, since we downloaded the plugin, we're going to go to Menus. So Appearance, Menus, and we need to create a menu. So we're going to do Main Menu. We got to title it first, and it's going to be a main menu. I also use it for accelerated mobile pages or AMP menu. And you could choose that it automatically adds pages to the menu. I don't typically choose to do that. I like to manually choose. Then I'm going to click Create Menu. Once I have that, then I'm going to choose the pages I want to have on there. So Listen, Contact, About, those are good ones. Now also I'm going to go with View All because these are only the most recent ones, and there are more pages. So there's, for instance, a home page, and I'm going to add that. All right, now if I wanted to change the order of any of these, all I have to do is just move them around like that. And then I'm going to save. Okay, great. So that's our main menu. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to Elementor Header and Footer Builder. And I'm going to add a new, I'm going to skip. And the type of template, this is going to be a header. And I'm going to have it display on the entire website. I could make other choices if I only want it to show on certain pages. Let's say I had a couple different menus and I wanted one menu for the regular website and a different menu maybe for my shop or my store. I could choose what pages I want, but most of the time one menu for the entire website is great. Then we're going to publish. I just always click Update too, just to be careful. One thing I haven't done is I haven't added a title yet, and so here I'm going to say Main Menu, and now I'm going to update one more time. There we go. Then I'm going to edit with Elementor. So we click here, and now I need to build it out. So remember, I need to add a new container by clicking on the plus button. I need to pick a layout. In this case, I'm going to do a two-structured layout. I'm going to have two columns basically. And for this one, I'm going to put image. And for this one, I'm going to do a search here for navigation menu. And I'm going to put that over here. And that automatically brings in what I said I wanted in the menu. Okay, for the image, let's go ahead and let's pick the logo. So we have the logo there, and now we have to start modifying. So the logo is too big. It was brought in as a large. Let's go with medium and see how it does. That's looking a little better. We can still do more in a little bit to fix it. So it's not exactly the size I want, but what I can do to fix it is I can change that margin so I could kind of get it to about how I want it. So I like that fairly well. And let's just see, let's have it left aligned, just so it's at the edge of that container. It's fine. All right, now this one, I want to make these be the font and the size and the colors that I want. So I'm going to click on the edit here. And since I only have one menu, that's the only one it gives me the option of, but if you ever create more menus, you could click here and tell it which navigation menu to put in. And for the layout, I like this one to be right justified, so it's going to be at the edge of that column. I also like to pull that column further, so it's a little further away. Okay, then I can work on the style. And so right now it's just kind of that default font, but I can change that. If you have global colors and fonts, global colors, global typography set up, you would use this button here, the little globe, to make changes. So like global fonts, if you've loaded that in, and let's say global colors would be colors that are loaded in. This one just has defaults. This particular student hasn't created her global colors and global typography. But the other thing I can do is just click here, and I know that she is interested in using one that was M+1. That is the font she wanted, and we need it to be a little bit larger. That should be good. Well, we'll make it a nice 30, and you can change whether you want it bold or not. So that's another option here. So you could just kind of look, and you can make like how far do you want between the letters in each word? How far do you want between each of the words then? Make sure I have this selected, and space between words. There we go. Now it's doing that. So we have some choices there about how you do that. And now I want to go in for colors. So the text color, do not want that. We want it to be a black, so I'm going to bring it down. And I don't ever want just a complete kind of that. Yeah, the black, that would be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I always want to get a color of black, and otherwise it starts to look really flat on a web page. Okay, that's pretty good. And that's what it looks like on the menu then. But I want my hover to be different. I don't want it to be that green. And let me go. I'm going to go get the hex code for the color I want, but I'm going to pause for a second to get it. All right, I actually went and I added a couple colors into the global colors to show you how that can work. All right, so what I wanted to do here is I wanted to change that green. So again, we go to this navigation menu, and it's under style. I'm going to go to hover, and this time, because I've now added these colors, I am going to use this teal color. That is what I'm going to use for this one now. So now when I hover, oh, that's not the right color. That's funny. It's just probably my internet is showing it kind of funny here. Oh, now that's right. I don't know. It just took it a moment. Okay, so that's good. Then there's the active state. So when somebody is on a page, such as, say, the About page, we have a slightly different color so that people know which page they're actually on. So let me choose a little bit a lighter one of these. Okay, now I'm going to update here. All right, so we got that, and we're pretty good to go. All right, so what we should do is let's go to a page. Let's hit the refresh button, and now we have our menu, and you can see that we're on the About page. So it's that color, then this is our hover color. And if you don't like the way it looks, obviously just go back and change it. And here I see this logo is too high, so let me just do a quick edit of that. We can align it. We can change where it is. Let me just see. There's a couple of ways we can do it. I think probably the easiest way is if I do it in margins or padding, one of the other is what I'm going to use. But I'm going to try margins first. I'm going to unlink the values because I don't want to change all 4 margins. I only want to bring this down lower. So I am going to give it a bigger margin there. Let's say 20, maybe 15. That looks like it might be good. I'm going to update. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to refresh. And that's better. If I don't like it, I can always go back in and edit it again. Okay, so I'm done here. I'm updated. I'm now going to leave here and I'm going to exit. And if you need to go back there and to edit, you're not going to find it on pages. So we don't have a menu page. If you have a menu page, it's not going to work. The only way that it works as a menu is if you go to the Appearance, Elementor Header and Footer Builder. And then here we see this, and then we could edit with Elementor. The last thing we need to talk about is if you want to have some type of background. Right now it's just white. What if we wanted to have a background in there? So what we could do is we could do Style, Background Type. I click on Classic. If I go to my global colors, let's say maybe I want the secondary color here. Yeah, that could work fine. Oh, so we can do that and we can update it. And then let's take a look what it looks like then. All right, so that's it. Have fun with your menu and customize as much as you like.